lovely here, I have to admit, but we won't talk too much about that because you'll just get jealous.
Okay.
Is it raining in Manchester today or in Salford?
Actually, it's sunny right across the road, so...
Oh, good. So it's got a bit of sunshine for your mayoral elections tomorrow.
The sunshine is coming out for the elections.
Right, Paul, why don't you tell us how your sort of idea to run for mayor actually started?
Yeah, my idea came for mayor because after coming out of prison after 9 years, I noticed that the city of Salford has completely broken down, and it's a broken city, and it needs fixing. And the only way we can fix it is to get people from the street to pull together, reunite, and together we will fix this city.
Right, how many people are actually standing for election?
There's 9 candidates standing for election.
And do you put yourself forward, or does one have to be nominated?
So I put myself forward, and it's on the 4th of April.
Right. Because of your background, shall we say, have you sort of encountered much resistance?
To be truthful, I've been quite a lot of support everywhere I go.
I mean, there are, Jason's on the line, so he'll tell us a little bit. There are sort of some parallels here with the mayor that we used to have here in Marbella. But let's focus on you a little bit. I read something interesting that you said, which I have to say that I agree with, and that is that, you know, these sort of useless politicians are always sort of blaming the problems with the youth on you know, it being down to the parents. And I've been talking quite a lot on air about my fear, my concerns over children having access via the internet to some severely, severe pornography. And, you know, there have been calls that the government should now be putting controls in place so that our children can't find this kind of thing. And, you know, I've had a lot of resistance to me talking about this. People say that you can't censor. But it is time for society to you know, demand that our politicians, elected politicians, take responsibility.
Yes, I agree with that, because, you know, pornography ain't for children, you know, it's just something that they shouldn't be seen at an early age. I agree with everything you're saying on that subject.
It's very damaging. Jason Coughlin is on the line. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Pippa.
Hi.
Hello there, Jason.
How are you, mate?
You two go back sometime, I do believe. But, Jason, you drew an interesting parallel towards between Paul Massey in Salford and him, Jesus Gil in Marbella here.
I did. I wrote something. I was speaking to Paul the other day, and I'm massively inspired by what Paul's doing there. I support him 1,000,000%, as do my brother, and everyone else I've spoken to on the internet, from Manchester and Salford. Everyone's right behind him. I can't see how Paul can lose. The thing is, there's a significant parallel between Jesus Gil, they say in Spain, Paul, but we pronounce it as Jesus Gil. That's how it reads. The thing is this: he was a massive name, and he had a huge reputation as a gangster. Let's call things as they say. But the thing was, he developed, he grew out of anything like that. He grew out into being a massive businessman, the owner of Atletico Madrid, amongst other things. And then when he got into being the mayor of Marbella, he changed things for the better. He renovated the whole town. He created thousands of jobs for people there. This was nothing of a place. I mean, all right, it was a town that existed, but it was too far south for most tourists. Now they flock to Marbella, and it's a lot of that has got to go down to Gil, and that's where I draw the parallel between Jesus Gil and Paul Massey. Paul Massey is a man of the people of Salford, and people will listen to him and they'll follow him.
Paul, one of the things in your manifesto that I read as well is that you want to get the heroin off the streets in Salford.
Yeah, well, to be truthful, at the moment, since I've come home, there's not a lot of heroin on the streets in Salford at the moment, to be truthful with you. It's sort of cleaned up a little bit.
How is that? How would it have cleaned up?
Well, I believe there's a few people in Salford who are not happy about that kind of thing on the streets, and there's that words with people that it's got to stop, and I believe they're doing a good job of that.
Paul, tell me something. If you're having words with people, if people are being spoken to, those, perhaps the dealers, they just go to ground, and the addicts will just go to do geographicals and go somewhere else that they can pick up heroin. It's not actually addressing the heroin situation, is it?
It is in Salford.
To be truthful, I'd be correct there, because before I did go to prison, not any cocaine or heroin was sold in the city of
he can only do so much though, Pippa, can't he? He can't. He's from Salford, and he's the well-known, respected man in Salford. You know, if everyone else stood up and did what Paul was doing in other areas, that would address the global proposition. But he's saying, well, I can't speak for everyone else all over Manchester or anywhere else. But what I am saying is, in Salford, I will take a proactive approach to getting rid of Salford, getting rid of heroin in Salford.
A bit of a Freudian slip, Jason. There's a lady, a community activist in Salford called Sarah Whitehead, who's actually, she said Paul Massey's involvement in this mayoral election could ignite further interest in the race. She said he's a real person. A lot of people from Salford are probably like Paul. They would probably relate to him a lot better than any of the councillors. Paul?
Hello?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it broke up a little bit, sorry, sir.
Just that there was a quote here saying that you're a real person, and a lot of people from Salford are probably like you, and they would probably relate to you a lot better than to the other councillors.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate to me than the councillor. Because I'm from the streets of Salford and I mix with the people of Salford. So in Salford, I'm actually sat in Salford at this moment. I've always been in Salford. I've been here for 50 years.
Go on.
So with the 50 years of me being in Salford, I've had many people in this city who have solved many problems for, and I'm always very good to the people of Salford as well.
What makes you think that you're going to be successful at